One more game, and we'll finally find out who wins the 2026 World Cup. On one side, we have Spain, also known as the good guys. On the other side, we have Argentina, also known as the bad guys. So who's gonna win it? Don't worry, calma. I'm about to tell you. Hello. If you're new here, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Chappelle Football. And today we have the World Cup final prediction video. Now, before we even start this video, I want to say a few things. One, on Sunday, after the final ends, do you want us here at Chappelle Football to do a live stream reacting to the final? If you want us to do a final live reaction video, like a post-match live stream, let us know in the comment section down below. We'll gladly do it to kind of wrap up our World Cup coverage.
But let us know in the comment section, because if enough people want it, we'll do it.
Second thing, semifinals prediction. I got the Spain versus France game right, even though everyone thought France was going to win. I talked about it, and it happened. Spain won. As for England and Argentina, I predicted England to advance, and honestly, I still think I was right. England just played like complete cowards in the last 30 minutes, and that's why they lost to Argentina, but we'll talk about that throughout the prediction. Because in this video, I'm going to give you advanced analytics. I'm going to do a tactical breakdown of Spain and Argentina so I can explain to you why I'm predicting this specific team to win. I'm not going to reveal it right now. At the end of this video, I'll tell you who I think is going to win this final. And believe me, it's 50-50. It's very close. Do not underestimate Spain. Do not underestimate Argentina. They have this guy known as Messi. And I've learned a long time ago, do not underestimate Messi, ever. Last but not least, if you are Brazilian and you are supporting Argentina, you should probably be sent to Azkaban. That's a real place. Look it up. With that said, don't forget to drop a like in this video. Do that right now. It's a great way to support the channel for free. Hit the like button. It helps us a ton, believe me. And subscribe to the channel. We are getting closer and closer to 30,000 subscribers, and I hope we get there soon. So subscribe if you're not subscribed. All right, so let's roll the intro and start the prediction. Okay, we made it to the World Cup final. And don't worry, I'm going to talk about tactics. I'm going to put the tactical board on screen. I'm going to talk about stats, previous matchups, the games in the semifinals, what went wrong with England against Argentina, Spain versus France. But before we do that, okay, let's pretend I'm Morpheus here for a second. I don't know if you have watched The Matrix, but do you sometimes feel like we live in a simulation? Do you feel that way? Because sometimes I feel like we are living in The Matrix, okay? You probably have seen this picture, which is Lionel Messi and a 5-month-old Lamine Yamal. It's a real picture. That's not AI. So think about this for a second. A 5-month-old baby gets paired with Messi randomly in a UNICEF raffle for a charity photo shoot. And then that baby that was 5 months old, he wasn't in the Barcelona academy like a kid. He was a baby, okay, 5-month-old. It was Lamine Yamal. And now, what is it, like 20 years later almost, Lamine Yamal and Messi meet in the World Cup final, almost 2 decades later, which is Lamine Yamal's first World Cup. It's Messi's last. I'm assuming it's his last. And Lamine Yamal is also wearing number 19, which is the same number Messi wore in his first World Cup, right, for Argentina. And yes, Yamal also plays for Barcelona. And then on top of that, someone replied this. Both also wore 19 for Barca. I don't know if they both did. Messi wear 19 for Barcelona? I thought it was 30. He wore 19 for Argentina. Lamine Yamal just turned 19, and the final is July 19th. Okay, so this is pretty wild. I'm not saying we live in the Matrix, but I'm not saying we don't live in the Matrix. Now, before I give you my prediction, my tactical analysis, stats, look at this as well. So EA Sports FC, they've predicted 4 World Cups in a row. 4, okay? And they ran the simulation again, and they predicted Spain will win the World Cup, okay? So they simulated the World Cup 4 times, not this one, the past 4 World Cups. They've gotten it all right. They've done this one, and they had Spain winning it. And this tweet is from June 6th. So this was before the World Cup started. All right. Before the World Cup started, they predicted Spain. So that said, why don't we start talking about everything that has happened? Let's go through the bracket first. Okay. So I'm not going to do a full recap. We've done that in previous predictions video. I don't think we have to go through all the matchups. Maybe some of the knockout games I'll talk about. But let's talk about France versus Spain. and Argentina versus England. So let's start with England, right? So the England versus Argentina game, my semifinals prediction was for England to advance. And to be fair to myself, England was the better team. Up, not better, but it was pretty close. But England was maybe more lethal, more dangerous. And I said it through central positions, out wide, whether it is with Rodgers, Anthony Gordon, Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, until they scored the first goal. Once England scored the first goal, they decided to sit back, and that can be on the players, that can be on Thomas Tuchel, whoever you want to blame. They decided to sit back and invite Argentina to attack them. And if you guys remember when I did the live stream for Brazil and Japan, when Japan scored against Brazil and they decided to sit back and allow Brazil to have the ball and invite them to their field, if you do that against a team with Argentina's quality, with a player like Messi, Julian Alvarez, Enzo Fernandez, Lautaro Martinez, if you invite them to attack you for 30 plus minutes, you will get punished. It's going to happen. It's it was a mix of England being cowards. They should not have set back. They should have continued to attack and play norm, like as if the game was 0-0, right? And also just bad tactics, a bad approach against Argentina. It's not something that you need to overanalyze. England scored a goal. They were playing fine. They decided to just not play anymore. And it's like, let's just defend now and hold on to this 1-0 lead. It's a classic Thomas Tuchel move, and it came back to bite them. And Argentina is a team that scores late goals. This team's mentality is off the charts. You can say that, oh, they cheat for Argentina, whatever. And I have seen many questionable calls throughout the World Cup for Argentina, but against England, for the most part, it was fair. It was a fair game. The ref did fine. England lost because of England. They should have won. They lost because of England. I still stand by my prediction. I think I made the right call based on the data we had, the stats, the tactics. Everything pointed to England, and England should have won it. But Argentina found a way to go through. And big teams, champions, find a way to win. Losers find a way to lose, like England. And that's why England is going to play the bronze final that they're calling here, the third place match. I call it the loser's game. Okay, I don't call it the third place game. I call it the loser's game because it is the loser's game. On the other side, we had Spain facing France, and everyone was almost certain that France would win. And I talked about this extensively in the semifinals prediction. I was very much convinced that Spain was going to win. And I talked about it. I talked about the tactics, which I'm going to break down Spain's tactics very soon. Um, I just knew Spain was going to win that game. They are just a nightmare matchup for France due to their midfield. They overload the midfield very well. They play with a false nine. Oyarzabal, right? He plays as a false nine. Then Olmo is very fluid. Ruiz. And then the road that he's able to pinch back. And I'm going to show you guys that on the tactics board. I just knew Spain would have complete control of this game, which would nullify France. I talked about this in the predictions video, the semifinals. And ultimately, they also have the quality to punish France. And here's the thing. Unlike England, when Spain scored on France, they didn't sit back. They kept playing the same way. And when they scored a second goal, they kept playing the same way. Okay. So before we talk about the predictions here, France and England, I'm not going to predict that game because sometimes teams play their reserves. I don't know what's going to happen in that. It doesn't really matter. It's hard to analyze a third place game with two giants because I don't know how much they'll care. This game will be played in Miami. Spain and Argentina will be played in New York. Okay. That's the MetLife Stadium in New York. That is the same stadium that Messi lost his second consecutive Copa America final to Chile. I think he wasted a penalty kick in that game. That's when Messi retired from the national team. Remember that in 2016 when Messi retired from the national team? It was in that same exact stadium. Okay, that one. So now let me go through like the Spanish tactics real quick before I give you my prediction because I want to explain to you guys why I'm predicting this outcome. I haven't told you yet who I think is going to win this game. So let's go to the tactics board here. So this was the starting 11 for Spain against against France. I'm assuming we're going to see a similar lineup or the same one against Argentina. Maybe Baena comes out and Nico Williams finally starts. I don't think so. Baena does a better job in controlling the tempo and holding possession. I think this will be the starting 11. Now, what's fascinating about Spain is they play this 4-2-3-1. But Oyarzabal, he's a false nine. You see him coming in and Olmo going up. They keep interchanging. It's very fluid. The other thing that normally happens with Spain is you can't press Spain. You can't press Spain. for two reasons. One, all of their players are overly technical. They know how to take advantage of numerical advantages. You cannot press them. And tactically, they're just not built to be pressed. So, for example, when Spain has the ball, you'll see like Cucurella and Poro kind of move here, and you'll see Laporte and Kurbasi split. And that allows Rodri to come right here when they're building out of the back. And you see Spain with something like this. Okay, Baena goes wide sometimes. Lamine Yamal, they provide the width. And when they're in possession, you see something like this. Now, as I said, this changes a lot. It's very fluid. You see Ozabal dropping deep and Dani Olmo going higher up the field. They interchange a lot. Lamine Yamal tucks inside. But what happens here is the following: you create a numerical advantage to build out of the back there, or even in possession, where no matter how much you press, if you try to press Laporte, he has Rodri. If you try to press Rodri, he has Laporte, or he has Kubarsi. And if you try to press Laporte, probably your wide player came to press him. He can find Cucurella. And then you have also Ruiz or Dani Olmo pinching in to receive the ball. And these guys are all overly technical. So you can't really press Spain. You just can't do it. The other thing that I saw happen against France is they try to press Spain a little bit higher up the field. So Kubarsi, Laporte are here. Unai Simon can play with his feet. And then Rodri and Ruiz would come here. All of a sudden, you see these four? You create another numerical advantage where Laporte can find Ruiz, Ruiz can find Cucurella. If not, he can find Dani Olmo central. Or if you find Rodri, Rodri can find Porro. Like, they know how to create numerical advantages. These guys have an incredible reading of the game, so you can't really press them. Okay. Now, when we talk about like Argentina's setup, I don't believe Argentina is going to press. Okay. Argentina normally plays in this 4-4-2 formation. That's how they've been playing. Or at least that's how they played the last game as well. And I'm expecting Argentina to be a bit more reactive, right? I don't know about Simeone starting against Spain. I don't know what Scaloni is going to do there. It might not be Simeone starting, but you can't really press Spain if this is your setup, right? So going back to what I said, if you go press with Julian Alvarez, Simeone, and maybe McAllister out wide, you go press with these guys, all of a sudden, as I showed you, Spain has 5 guys to build out of the back. And don't forget, Messi doesn't really press. So if you're from Argentina, Scaloni, whoever it is, to me, one thing is pretty obvious for this game. They cannot press Spain. France try to do it, and France can actually press, right? We know that for a fact. France is a very good pressing team if they want to press, and they tried. It didn't work. The numerical advantages always go in favor of Spain. Spain is technical. They can bypass your press. And then Argentina, they're going to try to press with Messi. That is not Messi's game. Honestly, even Julian Alvarez, not like the greatest presser in the world, McAllister, Argentina cannot press. So I expect Argentina to set up more in a 4-4-2 mid-block and be a bit more reactive. Like Spain's going to have most of the ball. Ball possession is going to go mostly to Spain. I wouldn't be surprised if Spain has like 56 to 58% ball possession. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, obviously, that depends on how the game goes. If Spain gets the lead, Argentina might try to take more of the initiative. They might even press a bit more. But expect Spain to have the ball quite a bit. And if you have the ball for most of the game, you're going to concede less chances. And we've been seeing that throughout the World Cup. And let me bring up some stats for you here about the Spanish national team, right? So let's go through Spain. Spain has conceded, if you look here on the right, let's go through here. Spain has conceded 1 goal in the entire World Cup. 1 goal. And you may be wondering, is that because the goalkeeper is incredible? Or did they face weak opponents? You tell me, because Spain, I'm not going to count the group stage, right? Knockout round. They faced Austria. They completely dominated Austria. They beat Portugal. That's a tough team. They beat Belgium. That's a tough team. And they beat France. And Spain only conceded 1 goal in the entire World Cup. It was that header from Charles de Ketelaere from Belgium. All right. Argentina, on the other hand, they have conceded a lot of goals. They have conceded 1 goal per game. 7 goals conceded. And Argentina faced weaker competition than Spain so far. Okay, just to make that clear. And you're going to be saying, oh, is Spain's defense much better than Argentina? I don't know if it's much better because Romero and Lisandro Martinez are very good. It's just that Spain, again, this is a team very well coached by De La Fuente with players with a very high IQ when it comes to football. They just know how to take advantage of numerical advantages on the field. They know how to overload certain sectors of the field. They know how to hold possession. And then we can go to this section here of the video. Average possession. Spain has averaged 63.8. And then you may be saying, well, Germany averaged more, Turkey averaged more. They played less games, right? If Turkey and Germany went further into the tournament, they would hold less possession. Now, mind you, Argentina also held 60%. But Argentina has played lesser teams. They've played teams that have approached Argentina in a more reactive way. Okay. So Argentina also averages a high percentage of ball possession, but they faced weaker teams. This is what I want to talk about as well. Let's talk about XG, expected goals. I think this is also an important stat to bring up. Argentina has an XG in the World Cup so far of 14.4. Spain has 13.3. So roughly a 1 XG difference. That means based on what's happened in the World Cup so far, Argentina should have scored one more goal than Spain. One more. And this is where it gets interesting. Argentina has drastically overperformed their XG. They've scored 19 goals in a 14.4 XG. That's almost a pretty much a 5 goal overperformance based on the chances they've created. Okay. I know XG is not the ultimate definition of anything. Like it's like, oh, XG is what matters. No, no, no. I'm just giving you stats, right? Because when we're trying to make an analysis of who will win this game, we have to analyze everything. What we see, the numbers, the stats, who they faced, everything. So we've seen the games. I've watched all the games in the World Cup so far. Up until the time of this recording, I watched 102 games. There's 2 left, the losers game and the final. Argentina has drastically overperformed their XG. What does that mean? Does that mean they got lucky? Maybe. Or maybe they're just very efficient. There's many things that we could dive into. Usually, over the long term, a team will regress to whatever their XG is. Okay, that's usually the norm. As for Spain, they have a 13.3 XG and they've scored 13 goals. So Spain has performed right on the mark when it comes to expected goals. They're expected to score 13 based on the chances they've created, and they scored 13 goals. As you can see, Brazil was eliminated early because they were very inefficient. Brazil underperformed their XG by 2 goals. That is a big difference. England overperformed. So every team that's gone deep in the tournament, they overperformed. Look at Belgium. They had a 11 XG roughly, 14 goals. Norway, 10 XG, 13 goals. Switzerland, 9.7, 10 goals. Teams with a high XG, the teams that go far, they usually overperform their XG. Even France a little bit, right? 14.6, 16 goals. Not Spain. They're right on the mark. So Spain has been performing right to their ability based on the shot creation. Now, one thing I want to say about Spain, for example, is also their XG conceded. This, to me, is the most incredible one. Okay? Because we talk about how Spain has only conceded 1 goal in the tournament. And you could say, oh, Unai Simon is incredible. The goalkeeper is just unbelievable. But they've only conceded 2.1 XG so far. They were expected to concede only 2 goals based on the chances they gave away the entire tournament. That is unbelievable for a team that's all the way in the final. But guys, it's unreal. Like if you go through the numbers, they conceded a 0.2 XG to Cape Verde, 0.14 to Saudi Arabia, 0.2 to Uruguay, 0.32 to Austria, 0.6 to Portugal. So Portugal is the one that created the most chances. Belgium 0.3 and France only 0.3. No team has hit a 1 expected goal against Spain. And again, I know this can change everything. We can go against Argentina. They can score 3 goals on Spain. Anything can happen. But this just shows how this Spanish team, their XG is high and their XG conceded is low. They're able to create a lot of chances, score those chances, and they don't really give you much because they're able to ball hog, hold the ball the entire game. And when they lose it, they know exactly where to go. They know where to press. They know where to cover space. Their XG conceded is only 2. It's unbelievable for a team that's made it to the final. Look at the other teams that have a low XG conceded. They've all been eliminated early. Uruguay group stage, South Korea group stage, Colombia round of 16, Germany round of 32, Canada round of 16, Japan round of 32, Turkey group stage, Netherlands round of 32. Look at that. How far do we have to go to find like a semifinalist. Argentina. Their XG conceded is 4, which, by the way, that is really freaking good. Argentina's XG conceded being 4 all the way till the final, 4 in 7 games. That is really, really good. And Argentina has conceded 7. So that means Emi Martinez is actually underperforming. See what I'm saying? Emi Martinez has been underperforming based on the advanced analytics. But again, this Spanish team is simply incredible, right? They're simply incredible. They should not be underestimated, but a lot of people underestimated Spain when it came to the game against France. And I kept telling everyone, you can't really underestimate this team. So, what's my prediction? That's probably what you're wondering right now. Let me bring up the bracket here again so you guys don't have to look at my face. I know I'm taller and I'm better looking than Tom Cruise, but you guys don't have to keep staring at my face here for the entire time. España versus Argentina. All right. So let me put it this way. Spain has the better team. Okay. Spain has the better team. Argentina has the better player, Lionel Messi. Okay. So I put an advantage for each side. Spain has the better defense, the better midfield, and the better offense. Okay. Offense, it's pretty close. I wouldn't say Argentina's offense is better or worse. It's pretty close. I would say maybe slight advantage to Argentina there. Maybe. Spain has the better defense. Spain got 1 extra day of rest, okay? Because they played 1 day early. And you're gonna say, oh, 1 day doesn't matter. It does matter because you're at the end of the World Cup. Players are tired, players are beat up. Argentina had to grind their way here, right? Extra time with Cabo Verde. Argentina beat England in regular time, but extra time with Switzerland. They had to grind their way here. Spain didn't really play extra time at all. So Spain has played less minutes throughout the World Cup. Spain has played 6 out of 7 games in climate controlled stadiums. Okay. So that tires you out less. These are stadiums that have AC, air conditioning, right? So Spain played 6 out of 7 games in air conditioning. They played less minutes than Argentina because Argentina had 2 extra time games. Spain has 1 extra day of rest. So in terms of like fitness, how each team will be, Spain will be more fresh. That's for sure. And that'll matter because this game will be played at 3 p.m. in New York. I grew up in New York. Guys, it is hot there during the summer. It's going to be very, very hot. So if you're less tired, it'll play a big role. So Spain has that advantage. They have the better team. I think the only thing that is the 2 big advantages for Argentina right now, it's Messi. I've learned to not underestimate Messi ever. And the fact that Argentina just has this never give up mindset. The mentality of the Argentina team, even if you say, oh, the ref has helped them, whatever, it doesn't matter. This team doesn't quit. Like this team will break you down the last 5 minutes if they have to. They are warriors on the field. I don't like them. But that is something you do have to give them props. They fight for each other. They love their country. And I don't know. This team seems to have like a pact with the devil or something in the World Cup, almost like Real Madrid in the Champions League. They might have sacrificed Pope Francis and Maradona for this pact to win 2 World Cups because Argentina has a legit shot here. Anyone that's saying Argentina doesn't have a shot is insane. They have a legit shot. Now, some people are going to say Argentina knows how to play these big games. So does Spain. Spain just won the Euros, right? They just won the Euros. With that said, who do I think will win this? Okay, who do I think will win this? I've made my case. As someone that's trying to analyze the game, from a tactical standpoint, I see an advantage for Spain. A team standpoint, the only advantage I saw for Argentina was Messi, right? We looked at the advanced analytics, we looked at the tactics, we looked at the results so far. The only pick I can make is Spain. I have to pick Spain, right? I can see that this game can go anywhere, but my prediction to win the World Cup is Spain. Okay, I'm sorry. Like you guys, let me know in the comment section. Drop a like also in the video. But I think Spain will win the World Cup. Also, if you want me to do a live post-match reaction for this game, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget about that. But anyhow, that's my prediction. Spain will win the 2026 World Cup, and believe me, I've tried to break down my entire reasoning here. I cannot see how Argentina wins this. Scaloni's going to have to pull some magic tricks, some crazy tactical approach. I don't know how he'll approach this. Spain will be more ball dominant. Spain will be more well rested. I'm unless Argentina can outfight them or Messi can just be Messi, I just don't see it. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Don't forget to drop a like right now before you go. Subscribe to the channel as well. And if we do the live stream on Sunday right after the game, I'll see you guys there. All right. See you soon. Bye bye.